And we are live. Hello, everybody. Colmots, Ruby, Listener, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Today, I am giving you a tutorial on Empire's mod for Team Fortress 2. Damn it, Steam. Anyways, so first of all, what is Empire's mod? Empire's mod is a mod created back in 2007 by a bunch of really smart people, and is a game that focuses both on FPS and RTS. What is FPS? First person shooter. What is RTS? Real-time strategy. Anyways, so how to join an Empire round. So first off, you go here, you find servers, whichever one has the most people on is one you go to, you double click it and you'll get into it. Then this is a tutorial map. This is the one you usually go to when you start off. You press N to bring up this board if it's not open already. Then you either pick the auto sign or you go, stack a team. For now, I will go Brno the Empire because that's the one you usually go. Okay, so where can I spawn? Can I spawn? Shit, motherfucker. Okay. I would just disconnect and tutorial. Tutorial, that's how you do it. Anyways, don't mind the Russian. I promise there's not many Russians. So anyways, this is the screen that you'll be shown after you've picked a team. So for Northern Faction or NF, you will have this as red basically, and you have a bunch of different weapons, blah blah blah. So what is the best engineer stuff you should be picking? Because engineer is a class you will be playing most of the time, or should be if you're new to the game. In my opinion, repair, upgrade, or revive are the first two I would always get. But then that's me. Anyways, so you pick your guns. I don't know. Useless. Okay, good. I'm sick with this one. And then you got your guns. So this is the squad screen. You join squads and you work with them, so you stay close by them and kill enemies to get squad points. And what squad points are used for is for using special abilities, and I will show you how to use those special abilities when I spawn. Okay, so spawn. So yeah, this is just telling you how to do it. I don't think it's that good. There's not any speech bubbles. There's no one telling you what to do. What, have we just been... has a missile just launched from here? I don't know. I don't care. So anyways, to explain what squad points are, basically, you press F to open up this menu. You can either click or you can press the specific keys. S. See, if I had 3 squad points, I would have an instant heal, which means they would heal my whole squad back up to full HP. Revive would revive my whole squad. Space to kick commander if he's just griefing, and an S to leave squad if you don't want to be in the squad anymore. So anyways, we walk through here. My life is for
Welcome to the Empire's tutorial. If you are new to FPS games, take a right up ahead. But if you know the basics of FPS games, take a left.
Okay, well I would just go through the whole thing because I'm not really bothered. I can do this. Oh, and I'll just show you how to do it. Right.
In this first section on basics of first-person shooters, we'll be going over jumping. Press space to jump the first hurdle. Then you can press space and control to crouch jump. And then hold shift and space to do a running jump.
What, you mean jump onto here and here, you know, and then get stuck a bit because this is broken? I don't know. But to give a more detailed explanation, when you jump or whenever you sprint, in the bottom left you see the electricity down in the corner here. That's your stamina, because stamina is an electricity. We are all secretly robots. Anyways, so first you just jump, so you walk forward and you can jump over it. That's it, done. And over here you can't jump over this because you need to learn how to jump crouch, and not many people know crouch jumping, which is actually a really serious thing. Apparently people don't know how to crouch jump, so you jump and then crouch almost straight away after you jump. Now here, what would happen if I tried to run and walk and jump? I shouldn't be able to do that.
If you fall into the pit, Climb up the ladder on the back wall and try again.
Yes, so what you're meant to be doing is you're meant to be sprinting and then jumping. Because you can walk and jump over this fine, but sprinting is better. But as you can see, it drains down the bar a lot more.
Here you have to crouch under the beam by pressing Control. Then jump the hurdle by pressing space. Then prone under the beam by pressing Z.
Now it depends if this has been set to your controls or if you've meddled around with the controller already. But as you can see, crouching, very useful. Let's jump over this because we need to practice jumping again, it's important. And then Z because you can't crouch underneath this. And also it gives you less accuracy.
Simply go forward. Press W. Look up while holding W to climb the ladder.
Let me finish, okay? Jesus Christ. Alright, so first, when you're standing up, you won't have that good of accuracy. Actually, so you can see, as you can see here, it's got this. I mean, this is pretty accurate because it's quite close. Crouching. Is a lot more accurate, as you can see up there. A lot less spread. And down when you're on the floor. Yeah, it's even more accurate than this one. Even that one looks more accurate. Don't look! Child, do not look. Oh, I never noticed these lights, that's cool. But in most servers now, as well, when you jump down, you usually have a parachute.
Good job.
E.
Now proceed to the next area.
Let me finish. So, sometimes when you're on a ledge, and you go down, and you don't know how to use the parachute, you hold E. This is just a vanilla server I've set up by myself, so yeah. Don't worry about it. Boo hoo hoo. So yeah, that's
Put this building into service, you must build it. You will use the engineer tool. Press 4 to pull out your toolkit and primary fire, which is by default bound to your left mouse click. Hold that while looking at the building to build it. You will see an arc light showing that you are building the structure. Do this for all buildings that have yellow smoke coming from it. They will also show up as yellow on your minimap.
Alright, so if you play the engineer class, you will need to bring out your calculator. Your calculator has a specific amount of charge. Once the charge runs out, you cannot revive and you cannot repair. If you get the repair upgrade, it would be a lot faster. See, that's pretty quick actually for a repair. Let me just show this again. Now I will kill myself by pressing delete, which you only use if your base is being attacked. And let's see, say I went to revive engineer, and there you go. So I went revive engineer. I've not gotten. So the repair upgrade both saves your calculator, but also means that you repair at double the speed of a normal calculator. Now, say for example, I don't know, I went Grenadier here. So, I'm a Grenadier. Oh, well, that's mean. Fuck you. Let me see. I'm gonna get this up. SV underscore cheats. 1. No click. There you go. Sorry, I don't have no clip bound because, you know, I'm not that kind of person. But say I'm a Grenadier here. I don't have a calculator, right? So what can I do? You can E-build. E-build is faster than normal engineer build. So if you're in a group of Grenadiers, try and build a building together, not just continue pressing on. Build a barracks or armory, because armories have very special bonuses for you yourself. Can't speak today. Anyways, so once you have an army up, you can walk inside and press B to change your class. You can change any one of these classes you wish. Do not go scout though. The scope rifle is bolt action, has only 4 rounds in its clip for both NF and BE, does less than 30 damage whenever I've ever used it, so don't use it. Unless you're a headshot god and you can hit the hitboxes in this game, don't use this class. It's really just not useful. Rifleman, you know, you got assault rifle, stuff like that. One of the best classes in the game because of how versatile it can be. And I'm just gonna toss this over. Toss me! Toss me! Bye bye. Hahaha. And those sticky grenades are better at destroying buildings than the engineer building grenades, which I'll show you actually right now. And I'll show you why they're special. So for the that's also another thing. If you respawn as an engineer, your calculator will reset to 0 when you change classes in a barracks or an armory. So try not to change your engineer too much, and then as a grenadier, if you change to grenadier in a armory, you'll have to reload before firing because it's a bug. But with the engineer grenade, what's special about it is, it's lightweight, and if it hits you, well anyone, it only does 1 point of damage. But it's very, very effective against buildings. 3 of these grenades easily can take down a turret. And apparently destroys walls as well. I'm going to have grenadier crits because why not? Watch here. There you go. I have to reload. It's still glitching, I don't know why. Actually, I'm going to get healed. Save for the mortar. Gimme. Okay, fine.
This is a buildable prop. They appear transparent and can be built by the engineer toolkit, and can be destroyed by explosive weaponry. Once they are destroyed, it will take some time for them to reset, but after they reset, you can rebuild them.
Yeah, what he said. But also, those buildings can be destroyed if they're on the enemy team. Because Empires is weird. I'm going to get the building upgrade, and I'll just show you, it'd be very annoying for me to build that bridge, because it's reset back to 0. Although it does recharge quite quickly, so that's okay. Also, when you are reviving, you need 50 calculator. 50 calculator is half your calculator, so try to revive sparingly or get up with another, stick with another revive engineer. As you cannot heal a full squad, because the full squad is 5 people. And there you go. So as you can see, it is green and X. If you were on the enemy team, that circle would be red, and instead have a nut inside it. As in bolts and nuts, I think. I don't know, I'm not American.
This room features the turrets for both Bernodi Empire and Northern Faction, showing each of the 3 tiers of turrets.
Pardon me. Right. So as you can see here, every building, well, not building, but every turret has 3 levels you can reach up to. So, yeah, these are bugged, fair enough. Fair enough. So, the ML turret level 1 would look like that. Let me see, no I can't build anything. The missile launcher turret level 1, can I not build anywhere? No, okay. It will look exactly like that. It'll look like one of these blocks only on here. It'll look left and right. Level 2 looks weird. And then level 3 will split them in 2, which means it has double the fire rate. So for the ML turrets, the higher the level, the faster they shoot, and the more damage they will deal, obviously, and the more health. No, I think they all have the same health. For the MGs, you have this turret here, which looks like a 50 cal on a pod. Number 2 is just a 50 cal with shields, and then number 3 is this. So obviously, the higher level they are, the more damage they'll do, yada yada yada. And this is B, sorry, NF. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I do not think we have enough mechanical parts.
This room showcases all of the buildings that can be placed by commanders. To learn more about each one, walk into the chat bubbles for an explanation. Keep in mind, knowing what the buildings are is vitally important. When you wish to continue, simply walk forward through the sandbox tutorial.
Alright, so I'm going to show this in no clip with my calculator open. So, nah, okay, these just, they're not part of the thing. Pardon me. So, you have your two sides. You have BE, Bernodi Empire, and NF, Northern Faction. Now, say if you were to be Northern Faction, these would be your buildings, BE, those are your buildings. So I'll go through NF first, because that's the one I tend to play more for some reason, because, you know, when BE have their stupidly OP rifles. So this is the refinery. The refinery generates resources per second. That's all you really need to know. Just keep them built and keep them alive. This is the armory for the NF side. Only has one entrance, but has very good protection. So can be better than the BE one, but still. And this is the NF racks. Looks like, I don't know why, it just reminds me of the American ones. As you go inside, you have an entrance on either side, and you have the same for the opposite side here. This is the NF radar. The NF radar is used to do some research for your team. As you can see in the top left corner, no active research because I'm not in the command vehicle. This so radars are the most expensive buildings in the game, I believe, but they are also one of the most vital because they allow you to research different types of weaponry, armor, tanks, and also and engines. That's it. Now these two are very important as well. This is the NF vehicle factory. The vehicle factory is used to obviously build vehicles. So say if I were in here and I was NF, I walk in here, you press V and you can click this tab and look all the way down to whatever you want to build. But don't waste your team resources. As you can see in the top right corner, resources are set at 506k, i.e. 506,000 resources. But normally in a match, you're not going to be above 1,000 at the start. At the start, no, you'll be even less than that because you'll be building buildings. But see, look at Jeeps, 30. So too many of these, and you'll also be damaging your team's economy. Now, what's also nice to note is in the top right corner, if I just press B, you see here 2 out of 10. That's your vehicle limits. Vehicle limits are used so they're not just a spam of tanks and the game doesn't crash, and also makes you value the tanks and vehicles you have. So if I were to have a Jeep, that would count towards my vehicle limit. So don't be a jackass and spawn in just a ton of Jeeps, because you're just gonna make your whole team rage, and it's not fun, trust me. You can get banned for griefing. And this here is the NF repair pad. Now, yes, it's good and all to have a repair pad that, you know, repair stuff, but is there any other special ability for this? Yes. Just like the NF armory, just like any armory or repair pad, they can change the loadout of your tank. Warning though, if you do change it, make sure you're not engaged in an opponent, as it will remove all your armor plates and they'll have to replace them all back on. Just in case, like, you replace it to regeneration armor, I don't know, capacitive armor, plane armor, absorbance, whatever. It will just reset all your armor plates. Even if you keep it the same, it's still going to reset. Now I'll have a look at the BE building. So this is the BE refinery, more high tech, because that's just made out of trash. This is made out of supreme stuff, and as you can see, so walk right through. Over here, 2 entrances, but it's also a place to hide inside for some reason. And over here is the BE radar. Just like the NF radar, only has 1 entrance. Here is the BE vehicle factory, and here is the BE repair pad. So say if I was to be in here, oh no, it's just a prop, I think. No, that's just a prop, okay. That's fine. Das is good. I will show you all of that when I get through here.
Welcome to the Sandbox. This is simply an area for you to freely explore and experiment with Empires mod. Good luck, have fun, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.
you probably won't see that person anymore because they've probably quit Empires. Ha 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 ha! Empire's a dying game. Well, it is dying, and it's fair enough, all games are dying. Even Overwatch, like, every game will have its death point eventually. So you can see here's the radar in action, it will move, you know. And what's nice about the radars as well, not only does it give you research, but it also lets you view enemy fortifications, I believe. Say, I'm going to change class actually. Oh wait, no, I already have. Yeah, okay. Now again. So, actually, yeah. This here is the BE. This is the BE command vehicle. Never, ever, ever get inside this vehicle if you are new to the game. Do not, because it would be counted. Ooh, pardon me. It could be counted as griefing, and you could get kicked for a couple minutes because of it. Why is this vehicle so important, you ask? Well, this is the first vehicle that spawns in the game, and it's the one that you have to protect. This vehicle is what spawns in your buildings, helps you spawn refineries, and manages resources. Right. Let me just put the volume of this, Jesus Christ. Okay. So, when you're inside, you press E to hop in and out of vehicles, and as you can see in the bottom left corner, you have this module of the vehicle you are in. So as you can see, you can count each number of plates. So this CV, the CVs have 5 armor plates everywhere, has no weapons, but can survive a lot of hits because it's the command vehicle. And you drive the tank as if you were walking, except there's a bit of lag when you're driving things from left to right. It doesn't cooperate as much as you'd like it to. Let me just waddle it over here, and I'll drop a radar just to check something, because not even I know how to play this game all the time. Ha ha ha. So when you're in, if you want to learn how to do the commands tutorial, I will probably upload that in the next video because it is a lot to take in. I don't know any good tank builds. I mainly go APC and stuff, so I'll just say what I like doing with the vehicles after I get this done. So I'm not going to build that. I'm going to put a radar here. Yeah, there you go. So as you can see, some buildings take longer to build than others. I believe the vehicle factories will chew up a whole calculator and still not be complete, so you might want more than one person on that building. A barracks will take a full calculator with repair upgrade, so if you don't have repair upgrade, you need someone else to work there with you. Ah yes, as you can see, it senses the enemy vehicles. Let me just get no clip on. No clip. Right. Hey, and now we're off. So as you can see, these orange squares on a side, I'm going to call them squares on a side, indicate where enemy vehicles or players could be. If they're players, they'll be smaller, obviously, and you'll know. But as you walk through here, yep, there's all the vehicles. And say if you're on the other side of this mountain and the radar is built, you can't see it, you can see it on your map in the top right corner. Now, you don't want your radar too close to the front line because it is a very expensive building to produce. It costs 600 resources. As I said, it's one of the most expensive buildings in the game. Correction, it is the most expensive vehicle in the game. Then comes the vehicle factory, blah blah blah. Right, look out. Let me out. Let me. Yay. Okay. Let me just go no clip again. Alright, so here. Oh no. Okay. This is what a interface would consist of. Not these. These ramps are just for show. But as you can see, you got all the different buildings. I need invulnerability on. What the fuck? Okay. Anyways, actually, you know what? I'm gonna spawn an NF. I don't care. Gimme. Okay. Spawning. So, no clip. Gimme. Yes, there you go. Right, so this is what an NF base would consist of usually. It wouldn't be laid out like this at all. It's really retarded layout or whatever. So here is the NFCV, and as you can notice, it's a lot larger than the BECV. Is there any difference apart from that? I don't see it. So over here, you have the different kinds of vehicles, and I will spawn in APC in a second. So here you have the NF light tank. So as opposed, I'll go back through over the vehicles over there once I'm finished with these ones, because these ones are more fun looking, in my opinion. So you got the NF light tank, which is a vehicle you get when you unlock the factory. When I mean unlock, when you build it. These tend to cost 200 to 300 resources depending on how you outfit your tank. But yeah, cheap to produce. You can produce them in mass numbers and just rush the enemy base. Medium tank. Now, the medium tank has more armor than the small one, but moves slower. So, yeah, if you still want to go for fast movement and tiny amounts of damage against vehicles, go for the light tank. Artillery is here. What the fuck? Okay, that's the artillery tank. As you can see, it's glitched apparently. What the fuck? Okay, I'm hopping out. Let me out, let me out. Oi, let me out. Oh god. Okay, this is glitched. For fuck's sakes. How many times do I need to do this? Okay, so this is the NF artillery tank. Normally would not have that cannon on there. It only has artillery shells. Don't know why this one has a bloody cannon on it. But it has tiny amounts of armor. You know what, I'm just gonna build them. I don't care. So here, I'm gonna go build artillery tank. Now for the artillery tank, you can't put a shell on. As you can see, these orange boxes signify you can only put orange shells in them. Here, as you can see, you can't have full amounts of armor. You can only have a certain amount on. So that would be. Oh, this would be okay, but you need a fast engine or fast cooling, and have it protected. And as you can see, costs 1,055, and this is for more like an anti-infantry artillery tank than anything. For the light tank, I said 200 to 300 resources depending on how you spend them. And this is the APC. I will spawn in now. This is my kind of APC. So, what is the APC good for? The APC is a good tank. Sorry, not tank, vehicle. It is a good 4x4 vehicle which can spawn in units, so say if I were to die. And I press enter. I select my spawn point. Mouse 1 to spawn. I will spawn in the APC. Even when it's moving. Say if I made it move and then I were to die and I spawn in, I can still spawn here even if it's moving. What can this be used for? This can be good for moving infantry out of base, because you start off with a basic cannon, not the one I have currently, and you also have grenades. Now grenades would be high explosive, so infantry better get out there, and you can also get upgraded grenades if your commander decides to go for it. Finally, we have the NF Heavy Tank. The NF Heavy Tank is definitely one of the good tanks in the game. I believe this has the highest damage output in the game. Not 100% sure, but these tanks can pack a hell of a punch. And I'm not going to lie about that, they can pack a punch. So, there is a difference though with the heavies, and I'll come to that later. Oh, I'll come to that now. So, say if I were to go in here, jump up, V, I will build myself a heavy tank. So, what's the difference with the heavy tank? First off, you have 2 missile slots, 3 missile slots. So, 3 slots, 2 slots, 1 slot. 1 slot is the one you start off with. So, standard is the one you start off with, as well as a chain gun, a medium chain gun, I think, are the 3 standard machine guns. And you start off with a grenade launcher. as well as a standard cannon and standard ML, but I'm not sure about artillery. Never looked in there because you never use it much, it's too expensive. So why is this good? Because you can either get advanced salvos, it's your choice, not mine, but honestly it's shite. 75 damage, 34 damage. I'm not sure if it's even damage for shots, so whatever. And then the usual machine guns people go for right now would be BioMG, but I'm more of a fan of the depleted uranium or plasma. They're okay, they're not great, but they're okay. High explosive MG I think is better for dealing with infantry, but the only one you can get is the HMG, which is for the APC. I think is the only one you can deal with. Armor, as you can see, can equip up to 6 plates of armor on one side. So say if I were to get, I don't know, absorbent armor, the cheapest armor and lightest armor in the game. Yeah, I can put full armor around my tank. That's 6 plates of armor around my whole flipping tank. Let's spawn it in. There you go. I will also teach you about a special type of tank before I switch over to BE and show the differences in their vehicles. I'll have to go over the Jeep again one more time as well, because I can't remember prices, but it's like, it's minimalistic, but still it's a difference. So you would control your tank as if you were controlling a player, except you need to keep holding the key if you want to turn left and right. Like, vehicles in this game are an ass to move, so don't be surprised if you can't drive something properly. I would advise just sticking to, I would really advise just sticking to ground forces before going anywhere close to tanks. And yeah, these are crap. Yeah, these are a bunch of shite. That's terrible, but yeah. Because tow guided wounds they're a lot more accurate. They go wherever you point your finger towards, your button towards. Let me just get rid of these motherfuckers. Ah! But as you can see, the only MG in the game that will damage buildings will be, I believe, I'm not sure. Oh shit! I didn't notice my arm was gone. Ah! And I might die because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't think it does damage. I'm not sure, does it damage? I've not tested this out, just give me a moment. I don't believe it damages. No, I don't think it yeah, so the only MG that can really deal some damage to buildings would be, okay, so it does do a tiny amount of damage, but the only MG that can do a viable amount of damage towards a building would be the HMG, but even then it's only okay at taking out turrets. You may as well use a rocket launcher with the Grenadier, the Motar, engineer grenades, stuff like that. Just a lot more useful. And I did check, okay, so actually here check, so 35 resources, but can hold 4 people. And as I said, in the heavy tank, 3 slot guided. I'm going to swap over to Brno the Empire and I'll show you the differences. Right. I'll also show you one special weapon that can only be used with the heavy tanks of both factions. So, with the Jeep in this, it costs 30 resources, but the difference is it only has 2 slots to sit in. As you can see, position 1 and position 2. To swap positions in a vehicle, you have to press the F1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many ever seats there are in a vehicle. And that's how you spawn them. You cannot shoot a vehicle's wheel off, but with the Jeep, you can shoot someone who's in this seat here, but you cannot shoot someone who's driving. I don't think. Maybe you can. Apparently you're meant to be able to hit both, but you can only hit this one for some reason. And you can also hit people sitting on top of APCs and AFVs. So AFVs are look different to okay. So what's the difference between an AFV and a light tank? The light tank only has 2 positions, whereas the AFV has 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, with the AFV, you can sit on top, as you can see here, and shoot for it normally. I wouldn't advise doing that though, unless you're like in a really dire situation, and I can bring it back because I'm an idiot, but whatever. And I'll show you now the differences between the heavy tanks of both factions. Now, as you can see with the heavy tanks, this one has 3-slot cannon, and this one has 1 3-slot missile. Now with the cannon, the best one apparently at the moment would be the heavy duty range, because you never miss. And this does 67. I don't know how it's the best. Because the best in damage would be the plasma cannons, but apparently not. Now, one special weapon with which both sides can research through fission is the nuclear missile. Now, what is the nuclear missile, you ask? Well, my boy, I shall teach you about the nuclear missile. The nuclear missile is a very, very, very powerful weapon, only for anti-infantry use, in some cases more anti-building. So that has made this tank become more like the Churchill AVRE, which is used to knock out pillboxes, blah 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 blah. Bye bye, Commander. But let me just show you how slow this fires. This also only has 10 rounds, but it's hidden by Gamecaster because, you know, we need money. But as you can see, every time you shoot, it will leave a mushroom cloud. Which is... So say if I was to fire it there in the middle, and just take some shots, I don't care. It will not one-shot any building. It will one-shot turrets, but not any building in the game. But it can, I guess it does do a lot of damage already to buildings, so meh. But then again, those buildings were not built. Oh, I've also not talked about this meter down below. This meter here, around where my mouse is the heat meter. The more you fire, the hotter your tank gets. It doesn't work efficiently, but it still works to a degree. So as you see, if I'm, say if I were to fire at this heavy tank, and yep, it will decrease my movement slightly before allowing me to move at a constant speed. I'll just drop some ammunition. Which is a good thing about engineer as well. If you drop ammunition for a tank, the tank can pick it up, so can your comrades. As you can see in the base, you just press E on it and you'll be able to pick up resources. Say you have to fire off some shots, reload, and then E, that gives me resources. Oh, no, okay. But say I were to shoot here, that'd be only having 9 nukes left in the bottom right. If I were to walk over here, it would refill my nuke counter. Nuke counter. So yeah, that covers the basics. Although, like, as in basics, I mean just like everything that I can talk about currently until I make another stream on the commander and the vehicles. Though I will do vehicle classes. No, I'll do vehicles first because classes are already really covered in my opinion. You don't use the scout. Rifleman's useful against infantry. Grenadier, you can use the mortar to take down buildings. Actually, I will need to show Grenadier after I get out this tank. I'm just going to destroy one more thing because I like it. Okay. Okay, apparently I destroyed something. But I will get the Grenadier out and I'll show you why Grenadier can be so viable. Grenadiers are one of the best specialist classes in the game. Fuck it. So our engineers. So first I'll actually show you the engineers, because I can't. Or I didn't. I just made this stream. It's like, I'm just gonna do a tutorial because apparently no one knows how to play Empires anymore, apart from the vets. And the vet. I'm not even a vet actually. I only joined this game what 2 years ago, most. I can't even remember, but it wasn't long at all. It was back when Empires was still semi okay before it died. So, what's special about the engineer? Well, he can repair buildings at a quicker rate if he has the repair upgrade. Just do that. Then if you right click with the calculator equipped, you can drop walls, supplies, cameras or radars, and also an MG turret or an ML turret. You can only have one of the turrets and one of the viewing equipment. So cameras are used to display infantry, radars are used to display tanks. Say if I were to place a camera down here, and it will say who owns the building if they place it down, and we'll credit you for the kill if it's your building that you've placed down. Say I want to get an MG turret up here. Also, every turret or building has a certain limit, a limited range. So if I were to go in the CV and say I want to see how far this turret can shoot, this turret can shoot decently, but compared to this turret, which has a lot more range, so it's about the same. So it's already about double the range, has more firepower, and does a lot more damage compared to this tiny turret. And then this camera here, as you can see, if it's a building that can scan, it will send out this radar, which is the constant blip, which will show enemies on the radar. This other radar has a much wider range though, and will show anything in this vicinity. Right, so now onto Grenadier, which is one of the best class in the game, probably the best in my opinion. So what's good about Grenadier class? So the Grenadier can both be a versatile anti-infantry troop. Like, it's not good late game, but early on you can push back maybe an APC rush or an AV rush, but medium tanks, you'd rather be getting the tanks at that time. So what's your Grenadier special abilities? Diffusal, armor detection, artillery feedback, and increased armor. So diffusal means that you can walk over mines and not die, and you can also diffuse them for your team so they do not die. Armor detection means that you can see enemy tanks armor, which will be shown, which will be shown on the bottom left, I believe. The RPG launcher is the launcher. You get a mortar as well, which doesn't show for some reason. And increased armor is increased armor. That's it. Let me just walk over here to thing, and I'll show you how the weapons work in a second. Let me just hop in. Also, I don't know why, but these vehicles, I would say, are like trying to drive vehicles on an ice skating rink. It's it's floppy. So, to say if I were to just drive over here, I know I need a vehicle. Okay. I hate this thing. Oh, there you go. So it has a really large radius for some bizarre reason for knocking out turrets, but then anything else not so much. It would be interesting though if you had an armor in this game where it would convert into heat energy. That would be awesome, but whatever. Anyways, so say if I were to look at this enemy tank, no, actually it shows in the middle there. It shows how badly the armor is damaged. Say if I were to shoot the front, I can see that it's lost all of its front armor, and it's on yellow. Same if I look at another tank, like maybe I want to shoot that tank there, the artillery. Boom, and I can see how far its armor goes down. Now, what's special about the Grenadier class? Right. With the Grenadier class, you are given a rocket launcher, a pistol if you're choosing, mines, and a mortar. Now what's good about mines, you might say? Well, say if the enemy does not have a diffusal, or if it's just an enemy tank just sitting there idly, because they're an idiot. Just drop some here. For fuck's sakes, really? I'm stuck here, fuck off. But as you can see there as well in the bottom left, I can't damage that tank much because I'm just gonna no clip out of this, fuck this. But as you can see, you can drop mines around the place, and if a vehicle were to run over it and they didn't have diffusal, they would be flipped or dead. One of the two, I don't really care. Either way, they're dead. Or they could just barely survive, but they'd have to repair their tank. Now, what's the mortar used for? The mortar, in my opinion, is a stronger bazooka. Let me say, okay. So I'm sure this tank's got all armor. So it's got 4 plates on the front. I could overshoot it, obviously. 4 plates on the front. I shoot it once. Not much damage, actually. That's weird. Maybe it's just the armor it's using. Now on the side, does a little bit more. So the rocket launcher should be. You should be using rocket launchers against tanks, mortars if you can, but mortars are better for buildings. 1, 2 should be dead in 3 or 4. Yay, there we go. So the mortar is better off at saying if you're good at mortars, then you can hit from far away instead of having to be up close and personal. You could use them for a sniping role if you wish, but it's not really my problem. Can you damage yourself with a mortar? Yes, yes you can. So be careful with your firing. If you're firing in close quarters, I suggest using a pistol or a rocket launcher because you won't be as likely to kill yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about general classes, because engineers and grenadiers are the ones you should be only using. Riflemen you'll be able to figure out. Scout just do not use until you're experienced. I don't even know how to use Scout. I usually just use him with a scope rifle to deal with riflemen picking me off and stuff, i.e. Tony. So yeah. Also, what I forgot to mention was you have a ranking system. So when you first spawn into the server, whenever you first spawn into a game, you'll be set with only one lock, one skill, one ability. And as you do more things like build buildings and you go kill people, you'll get more and more points, and you'll be shown how long it is until your next promotion. And the higher promotions you get, the more abilities you'll have, and obviously the harder it will be to get. So, as you can see, this is more the sneak class. If you want to do damage behind the enemy lines, he can stab buildings to bring them down to half HP, stuff like that. Riflemen, just kill things. Sticky bombs for the tanks. Engineer to build buildings or revive. Grenadier is your main guy to be taking down buildings or to be driving tanks. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I've been Callbutts, and as